What is up, YouTube? We are back in Sunbreak and I have another hammer build for you. Now before we get this started, we're going to go over the gear and the decos, and then we'll get into the skills and then some tips for the build. So let's get started. Alright guys, for the weapon of choice, I am using the Abyssal Windstorm. You can use any hammer you want. For the head, we have Hunter's Helm. For the chest, we have Malzeno's Mail. For the arms, we have Archfiend Armor Epine. For the waist, we have Malzeno Coil. And for the legs, we have the Archfiend Armor Cesseros. I guess that's how you say it. And then we have the Polar Knight Talisman, which gives us attack boost 3. Now we'll get into the decos. For the decos, we have a Rage Jewel of Deora's Soul. We have an attack jewel, we have a destroyer jewel and a recovery jewel. We have a crit element jewel +4. We have 2 recovery jewels. We have a crit element jewel, 2 tenderizer jewels, and in the talisman we have a carver jewel. So next we'll move on to our skills and what makes this build what it is. Alright guys, to go over the skills, I'm just going to go over what makes this build really pop first, and then we'll go over the lesser skills in this build. So, as y'all saw from the title, this is the no pain, no gain build. And essentially we are using dereliction to get attack and stun potency by using our blue scroll. Now this skill drains our health, but it gives us more attack and stun potency while we're using the blue scroll, and this just further increases each level we get. So we have 3 levels into this skill. Now to kind of counterbalance that health drain, we are using Blood Right. Blood Right, when we break a monster part, gives us health back. And these are pretty much, these pretty much synergize well, but you have to break that monster part to get that health back. Now, recovery speed, I'm up in the air about this. I've been testing it out and I don't know if it helps at all with the health drain here, but I have it on because I think it slows it down. It doesn't completely negate it, but it slows it down. Now, as far as the other skills are just there to increase our damage. So we have attack boost 7, we have weakness exploit 3, we have crit element 3, and we have part breaker 3. Now, as far as crit element we can swap out. What I would swap it out to personally is I would put like a jump jewel here, which extends our evasion distance, and then I would put another jump jewel here to get that level 3 in that, just because we don't want to get hit. So the farther we can roll, the further we can get out of danger. Now that is all I have for our skills, so let's get on to some tips for this build. Alright guys, getting into the tips with this build, the only tip that I have is use Impact Burst. It works well with Blood Right because Impact Burst, when used, gives your weapon a double hit essentially. As you can see from the description, it says creating a shockwave. That shockwave is another initial hit. And when paired with Blood Right, you get 2 bursts of health back. So Impact Burst is excellent for keeping your health up, but you have to break the monster's parts. If you don't break the monster's parts, you're not going to get the health. Now, as far as our charge switch, we're going to be using Courage. Courage, in my opinion, can give you the highest DPS because the combos you can do with this are just so fluid that I think it's better than Strength. But if you want to use Strength, that's where you're going to get the most damage, you know, out of your hits. So it's all dependent on the style that you like. I like Courage better. But when we're using it with our blue scroll, we're going to be getting more hits in, which allows us to utilize that stun potency that we get. So I just love using Courage. Alright guys, for another tip, we're going to be talking about our Abyssal Windstorm Hammer. With this hammer, it comes with a 3-slot Rage Jewel. And in my hammer specifically, I have the Daora Soul Jewel. This one, on hits, gives us, no, on consecutive hits, gives us increased infinity. Now, if you're having trouble surviving, and this is where we get into this other tip, I would swap that out for the Cumulus Soul Jewel. What this gives us is either health, stamina, attack, or defense when we hit a monster, and it has a small chance to do so. Now pair that with the Courage style of hammer, you're going to be hitting the monster pretty frequently, and you could probably cycle through these 4 increases pretty easily and get your health back. Alright guys, that is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.